Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. Curfew imposed in Kingston West Police Division following shooting of 10 people, 4 of them fatal over the weekend. A curfew has since been imposed in the Kingston Western Police Division. The curfew comes amid mounting tensions in the area following the shooting of 10 people, 4 of them fatally in 2 separate incidents on Saturday. The deceased are 44-year-old Rodney Robinson, 31-year-old Terence Forsyth, 21-year-old Emilia West, and 34-year-old Anthony Davis. The curfew began at 6 p.m. on Sunday and will remain in effect until 6 p.m. on Tuesday, January 31st. The curfew area includes section of Racecourse Lane, Rose Lane, Beeson Street, Spanish Town Road, and Little King Street, excluding the Denham Town High School and Denham Town Police Station. The Kingston West Police have also listed 16 persons of interest and 3 wanted men who they believe can assist them with ongoing investigations in the division. Clarendon farmer found dead on plantation. The body of 68-year-old man was found on a plantation where he worked in Whitney District in Morocco, Clarendon on Sunday morning. Everton Allison, otherwise called Jano, a farmer from Richmond Park District in Moko, was found dead by residents who embarked on a search after he had not been seen for several days. Police said preliminary investigations reveal that Allison was last seen on Thursday, sometime in the morning, going to the farm where he worked. He had not been seen or heard from since, which arose the suspicion of residents. However, no missing person report was made. Police reported that around 8 a.m. Sunday, concerned residents commenced a search during which the body of the now deceased was found on a plantation and the authorities summoned. On the arrival of the police, Allison's partially decomposed body was identified. Police said he was clad in a grey t-shirt and blue jeans pants, and the body was seen lying face down on the ground. The police were unable to see if any foul play was suspected. Third murder recorded in Bethel Town Police Division since 2023. A man was shot dead by unknown assailants at his friend's house in Bethel Town, Westmoreland on Saturday night. The deceased has been identified as 20-year-old Roger Pennant, otherwise called Ricey. Pennant is said to have been visiting from St. Anne. Reports from the Bethel Town Police are that about 9 p.m., Pennant was at a friend's house when armed men pounced upon him and opened gunfire, hitting him several times in the upper body. The police were summoned, and on their arrival, Pennant was transported to hospital where he was pronounced dead. Investigations are ongoing. Pennant is the third person to be murdered in Bethel Town Police Division since the start of the year. 1 killed, another injured in Arnett Gardens gun attack. 1 man was shot dead and another shot and injured on Lincoln Crescent, Arnett Gardens, yesterday afternoon. The dead man has been identified as 19-year-old Shaheem Williams, otherwise called Shazzy, from Lincoln Crescent. The injured man is 28-year-old. Police said about 2:30 p.m., Williams and the other man were among people in a yard when they were pounced upon by men armed with guns. The gunmen, police said, opened gunfire hitting both men. They were assisted by residents to hospital, where Williams was pronounced dead and the other man admitted. Police said the injured man was shot in the left arm, chest and back. No motive had been established for the attack. North Central St. Catherine MP expresses hope that Jamaica will soon see safer banking practices that prevent criminals from interfering with citizens' money. Member of Parliament for North Central St. Catherine, Natalie Garvey, has expressed hope that Jamaica will soon see safer banking practices that prevent criminals from interfering with citizens' money. This is against the backdrop of recent multi-million-dollar fraud cases at local banks and at least one investment firm. Speaking at the launch of a Universal Service Fund Wi-Fi hotspot in her constituency recently, the MP urged attendees to use your online connectivity to keep track of their monies in local financial institutions.
Check your bank account. What if a corruption are going on in the place? If even $5,000 you have in there, check it every day and make sure your $5,000 is still there. And we are praying that as systems go in place, that we will continue to have safer banking practices, that we're not able to have corrupt people interfere with hard-working people's money. So when I say that, I'm not saying that to get at anybody, but to ensure that you understand that there are corrupt people out there And having access to the internet provides you with an opportunity to keep on top of your business.
Jamaicans urged to make wills to prevent family fighting over deadlift. Justice Minister Delroy Chuck has again appealed to Jamaicans to make a will to prevent conflicts among relatives when they die. Speaking at a Manchester Alternative Dispute Resolution Forum recently, Mr. Chuck noted that there are oftentimes squabbles over the estates of deceased family members, some of which result in injury or death. He referenced the recent incident in which a Jamaican man who traveled from the United Kingdom for his mother's funeral was killed in what police described as a domestic dispute over property.
Superintendent McCullough mentioned the case of a brother killing his sibling and fighting over their mother's deadlift. Nothing creates more problems than deadlift. And it is a freeness mentality that we have in this country. Everybody feels they must get something. If it is not from the government, if it's not from the pastors or the politician, they must get something out of what their parents leave. It belongs to them and they fight over it. And there's no question of sharing appropriately. Everybody wants the lion's share. And especially when, regrettably, the parent has not left a will. And that is why I would encourage, and we're going to speak about this at the Justice Spirit, people must make a will. When you make a will, it's at least indicate how the property will be shared when you die.
Meanwhile, head of the Manchester Police Division Superintendent Shane McCullough said the brother of the United Kingdom resident has since been arrested and charged with murder. Lamont Brown is accused of killing his brother, Michael Brown. Superintendent McCullough said the accused brother is awaiting a date for his court appearance.
We had to lay charges, unfortunately, against a family member who, coming out of land dispute after they buried their mother, ended up in the murder of their brother due to inability to resolve conflict. So you understand that this is real. You understand me? It is very real. So the inability to properly decide how you share the assets that the mother left after she died ended up in one family member murdering the other. So one is now on ice in the morgue, the next one is now in custody at the Mandeville police station awaiting trial.
Entertainment Minister wants churches to embrace gospel reggae. Minister of Entertainment and Culture Olivia Grange is urging churches to play a greater role in developing the reggae gospel industry. Ms. Grange was speaking on January 29 at a Reggae Month church service in Kingston. She said, while there are some Christians who have created reggae gospel songs, more persons are needed within the industry. Ms. Grange also sought to dispel claims that reggae gospel could not encapsulate the theme of reverence. Reggae Month is observed in February each year to highlight and celebrate the significant impact of the music genre on the country's social, cultural, and economic development. This year's theme is Reigniting Reggae Legacy.
Today we have a battalion of Christian soldiers within the framework of reggae gospel. Our churches need to join us, Reverend Al Miller, in a more fulsome way in creating an even larger reggae gospel music industry. Focus on unearthing and developing gospel bands and vocal talents across the country and unleashing them on the world in reverence and praise. Yes, there was a time when the guardians of religion, the churches here in Jamaica, felt that reggae could not encapsulate the theme of reverence before God. But that is changing. Through and in reggae music, people have found their balm in Gilead. They have found an engine and motivation to press on and not despair through hard times. They have found a platform of solidarity where oppressed people could bond as they seek common solutions to mental, spiritual, and economic anguish. And they have found the globally unifying theme of one love.
Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell